Chop, chop, chop. Hey, Timmy.
Good start.
How are you?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. Feeling good. Big night tonight.
Big night tonight.
Some big announcements rolling around. I've checked social. I don't know whether they're flicked out there yet, so we're just going to park it and we'll let that
Just
come
a quick,
through the mire.
quick reminder for you before we get going. The camera's just here.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's
we're good. We're good. Kappa, mate, welcome
man
along.
Thank you.
Good to see you, mate. And can you bring that microphone a little bit closer? Because last week I couldn't hear you, mate. So bring it in nice.
You're getting old, mate.
Oh, that's
There we
better.
go.
That's better.
We can hear you, mate. Kappa's had a busy week.
Oh, I had to buy his lunch for him this afternoon. It turned into his dinner.
Yeah,
Well,
you guys are looking after me.
I've never had
tea.
so many people comment on his hair.
Oh, unbelievable.
They love it.
I
They
had
the people love it.
3 people that I know, all female, have texted me and said they've found him on Tinder. He's gone right up the pecking order there. And look out, the Roosters in town. So
Unbelievable. What should we get? No, we'll never
we
be
doing
serious. Don't take yourself seriously, we say. But of course, we are covering the Cycling Australia AHDR, the CHOP first up tonight, and then we'll be flicking on over to the Coa Sports League race, which will be from about 8 o'clock. So Australian Eastern Standard Time, whatever you are watching in the world, mate. But in the chop tonight, what are we doing? I think we're going to be getting dizzy tonight.
Oh, yeah. If you like turning left, you're going to see about 35 left-hand turns, 10 laps around LaGuardia.
Yep.
So let's have a look at the course.
Yeah, so it's 29.5 kilometres there on the squiggly line, and 2.8 Ks a lap. So essentially, you imagine, ride leaders like Jeffy Creel in A grade, they're just all about the speed tonight, aren't they? Just getting that average speed right. We called this back in late May on this course, and the chockies were taken there by A grade, and we're going to put it out there pretty early. We suspect the same. Money. We're covering A and C tonight, provided Kappa can get the click right, and not much elevation, just a little bit of ramp there at one point, but not much really to speak of over about 30 Ks there. So
there's a little bit, but not a thing that's going to trouble many of these athletes in the whole field, let alone A grade.
Yep, so bring it on back, Kappa. So just to give an idea, if you are tuning in for the first time to the chop and how it all works, it's a handicap race. It's really a team type of race, and then basically with about 30 seconds to go, it's gloves off and everyone sprints for the line, depending on where the finish is, of course. So we've got D grade, they're off scratch essentially at 7:10. They've just rolled on out at the moment, then followed by C, B and A at various time gaps, which we'll go through in a sec. But the spread is 9 minutes between D and A tonight. But you've had a chance to earlier have a look at a couple of riders in the chop, which people love. I wonder if they sit there and just hope that they get a mention.
Every week you sit there waiting. So let's have a look at a couple tonight. And a couple of athletes we're going to highlight this evening in the AHDR chop. Big race around LaGuardia, 10-lapper. First one is a man by the name of Adam Hartley, a regular on the AHDR races, getting some good experience now. 73 races in. He's starting to come through week after week after week. So he's definitely a supporter of all things AHDR is Adam. His FTP's improved dramatically over the last few months, gone from grade to grade to grade. So over 5 watts a kilo now for 20 minutes in some of these races he's going in. Watch him on the climb. He's a lighter rider, so watch him on that leg snapper as they go up Innsbruck and around towards the finish. And the second athlete we're going to highlight is a young lady by the name of Jenny Penttinen from Australia, lives out of Melbourne, I believe. So has been highlighted before by the great Matt Keenan on the Shram Send It series. So I'm sure they've got a little bit of relationship there. So great to see Jenny in the chop tonight. She is an absolute beast in real life on the road. So watch out for her. Some great results in individual time trials over the last couple of years, both in the Australian Time Trial Championship and in the Oceania Time Trial Championship, where she finished third in 2019. So watch for her pushing huge watts in that A grade group as well as they chase down B, C and D grade in the chop tonight. So good luck to Jenny and to Adam. We're looking forward to a cracking race here. This is going to be on like Donkey Kong.
Hey,
I've changed my shirt. I did that earlier. I had a little shirt change.
Do you know that one of the great things about pre-records is you can really nail it, Greg? You can really nail it. And apparently there's a leg snapper in LaGuardia.
Well, one of the reasons why I was a little bit tired, we went out on a little board meeting right earlier this afternoon. And
how'd you go?
Fair to say, so Kappa had a look at my Strava because he saw we were riding together, and 30 minutes back from the cool-down phase with the tailwind with my highest heart rate of the day.
So Tim's cool-down, yeah.
I was hanging out for a coffee, don't worry, Kappa. It was
2 bits of banana bread. What a great cafe. What a great cafe. You order one, they bring 2. Yeah. They're just happy to have people, I think.
I made a comment.
Guys.
Well, someone has to fly the ship, Kappa. I mean, not everyone can go and enjoy the finer things in life like eating banana bread. So there you go. Righto, we have got not too long to go before this C-grade group rolls out. So let's just quickly have a look. I'm going to put my head down for a little bit.
That's great television. That's great television.
We have the likes of Ben Gove's going to lead. Ben Gove is going to lead this group again, which he is great on the comms. Don't know how they get those messages out. So we've got representing the female field in C grade there. We've got Ali Kaur. We have Tanya Cross, Melissa Perro, Mandy Mack, and Kelly Ellis, along with others. I can't get through everyone, unfortunately. And then we've got Dermot Nichols. We've got Fernando Fragoso out of Brazil. Gustav Rutzesward. That is a great name, Tim. That is a great name. Along with Lachlan Soper, Marcus Dickey, Noah DeWright, Sam Gray, and Tracy Vertigan.
Few shout-outs there. Let's just hope Kappa gets this click right because we want to make sure that we're on the money. So
no
of course,
pressure.
Benny Gove there, he is the beacon, and so no attacking and an easy roll out, guys. That's what is the team leader is saying. So this is the team nature of the chop, and we'll go through the dynamics in a second. So fingers crossed, and he's grabbed
Kappa.
one.
That is amazing.
There's good work. He moved his way through the A's and the B's there, and he found his mark.
And Hamdi there was throwing out a few comments. So hello to Hamdi in that C-grade bunch. So quick shout out to the C-graders. If you're all in that group, stay with Benny Gove. He's your only hope.
No pressure on me to get A right.
No pressure. Well, A's easy. Everyone else is gone, mate.
No pressure on me at all. But look at the new scroll bar. That is rolling through.
New. You've been busy.
Kappa has had a really busy afternoon, and there's a little bit of fresh content coming through.
I'm sure there is.
And some fresh announcements coming through. Just waiting for the all clear from HQ, of course. No, just kidding. But we'll make that pretty small. That is a pretty tight, small-looking front C-grade group. If we can spin the chopper around. Okay, so yeah, that's all going to come back together. But a very, very quick, fast start here out on LaGuardia. And in the real world, if you are going through LaGuardia at the moment, oh dear, trouble there. So I would be wearing a mask.
Let's leave that where it is.
Why? Well, just stating the facts.
Don't get into trouble. We've got some big stuff coming up, Tim. I don't want to be clipped over the ear by anyone at HQ at the moment.
I got a few clips this morning. I woke up and
opened
up the social media feed, and we got thrown under the bus a few times, which we'll definitely address, because one of the great things about having an audience and a microphone is you get the chance to respond, and we will be responding in full. So stand by for that, for the person that lobbed the grenade. Anyway, back to the action. So Ratisma in here, Rutzesward in there, Spartacus, and we've got some avatars just catching up there. And here come the messages through. So Benny Gove there, of course, he will be basically giving riders messages of what to do, how to sort of manage. So this is really that little only ramp here on that lap. They're going to do 10 of them at 6%. So enough to hurt, but not for too long. No. But after 10 of them,
they start to tickle.
Is it like doing 10 Rosies, Kappa, would you say?
I wouldn't know. Have you ever done 10 Kappa?
Yeah.
10 Rosies?
We've done it the last 3 weeks in a row, Greg.
Shows you how much I look. I did one today, 1.5 actually. Did you notice I turned around on the second one and went the other way?
Says us who you rode your bike around the country. So 10 Rosies and riding around the country doesn't.
You know what? I reckon 10 Rosies, the elevation would probably be the elevation of riding for 3,000 kilometres across the Nullarbor or whatever it is. But there's the point there, that sprint section where at the end of that, obviously, you're going to pick up a power up each lap. So they can become critically important in this race, particularly towards the back end. Those little power ups, and Tim's favourite, the 10XP, is always a favourite. For most riders out there, there's not much cursing goes on at all. You see a few riders, they're burning up power-ups because they're going to pick up that other one. So you see the feather going off there. That takes 9 kilos of weight. Now, speaking of riders putting on weight, Tim, there's a couple of riders out there that have been in a very good paddock over the last few months, I've noticed.
Yes, we have. I mean, there's so much A-grade racing going at the moment and some good verification checks. So things are starting to come into line, which is really, really good to see. And it's like anything. It's a never-ending battle, isn't it? But,
we send them to the sick bay. There you go, the Kyle Sports League. They go to the sick bay for a month.
We've got a few in there.
We've got a few, some big names in there at the moment, actually. We don't name and shame, but
we don't name and shame yet.
There's a few.
We got to get big enough. We got to get big enough before we name and shame. But nice, tidy front pack here, looking good, and interesting to see some of the power numbers here as well. So we're obviously following Spartacus team at the moment. Good call, Greg. I'll click back down there. Hold tight for a second. So Spartacus team AHDR. Let's go through some of. We're watching Ben Gove now. So 217 watts, sitting about mid-front pack there at the moment. 152 beats per minute and perfect C big blobbage there.
I thought that
Ben
said
Gove
something else,
saying,
but anyway.
And nice little RPM as well, spinning around at 80 RPM. So trucking along here.
Pack.
at 38 kilometres per hour. This is exactly what you're seeing on the screen if you have no idea what you're looking at, which is important. 2.8 Ks covered and 28 metres. So they're through a lap already. So they're flying around, Greg. Going to be hard to catch the old C graders, and they're already working their way around. We'll bring up some Zwift Power live data in a sec. We do like to at least let the groups get at least 10 minutes into the race before we start bringing time gaps, because a little bit of cleaning up has to go on. Of course, not only on Zwift Power, a little bit of coning there as well as they clean up all the action. So we wait about 10 minutes before we start getting time gaps. We find that is good.
One
Greg.
job, Tim. I'm going to leave you to do that, and
Thanks,
I'm going to talk about the great Surly Chops, who's giving a little bit of advice out there to all these athletes that are watching along wherever they are on the planet. And that is, sorry, Kappa, it's on Zwift Community Live. I won't be able to grab that one, I don't think. But use your 10 power-ups. You get 10 on this course, so use them wisely. But you definitely want to, I'm going to give a bit of advice myself. If you're coming to the last 2 laps and you're holding on to an aero helmet or a draft bus, hold on to it. That might be a good one to keep for the finish for this one. So good one too. And a quick shout out to the great Stephen Chan, who we've highlighted before. He's an AHDR ride leader watching along at home as well. He's watching in a restaurant. Well, I hope your wife's not with you, Stephen. That would be quite rude to sit there and watch that. But anyway, you must
done that
you're
before.
keeping good company. Well, you'd be watching the footy, Tim. You'd be watching the footy.
I have done that before. I've been at a important function and just had a little check
Like,
of the
a
footy
wedding?
scores.
A wedding?
I've actually done that. Yes, my wife was. What do you call it? Not best
Your
man.
own wedding?
Maid of, no, not
Your
my
wife
own.
was a best man. That's unbelievable.
You know what it's called? Whatever they call it.
A maid of honour.
Maid of honour, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one. So, yeah, we'll see. But I actually learned a new word about weddings, and I've forgotten. And Alicia,
It'll
if you
come
want to
back.
put it in the comments there, something about if you keep your weddings low-key, it's got a name. And anyway.
A wedding.
No, it's got a name.
A wedding,
It's
because
cheaper.
you dropped the G. A wedding.
It's definitely cheaper. Well said, Kappa.
Coming from the king of cheap, Kappa. It was like,
It's a bit harsh. Bit harsh.
No, he'll say that himself.
Bit harsh.
He likes
Bit
to keep
harsh.
his money in his pocket.
Bit
But,
harsh indeed. So
now-
we've got a lot of people tuning in here, so welcome along, Jason, Avery, Davey Green there. Hopefully it's not glitching as much anymore, mate. Looks smooth here, smooth. So maybe we've got to pay that gas bill to get better internet. No, just kidding. Joel Murray in there, Joe Murrell. So, well, and there we go.
There
Look at
she's
the-
chimed in right on time.
Eloped is
Eloped.
apparently for a cheap wedding.
Yeah, that's when you go to the courthouse. When you,
Right,
you
well,
know,
there you go.
By Elvis.
your bride, back in the day, your bride might have been carrying a bit of extra something.
Not a great start, I would have thought, if you're going to get eloped.
No, well, that's
Just
what
saving
happened.
the
I'm just
biggies.
going to, not letting me tell the story. If you know your bride-to-be back in the day was carrying a little bit of something extra, like
Yep.
i.e. a bit pregnant,
Yep.
you'd jump down the local courthouse with her father
Yep.
and you'd run through the process and you'd be responsible.
Is that
But,
right?
yeah, that was a lot. That's
you know
how,
a lot for someone who isn't married.
Maybe I have been before. Maybe I have been before.
April,
You never know.
Newsflash.
Or she won't be watching. She'll be dialing into, what's that show called that she watches?
I like the new...
One with the doctors.
I definitely like the new...
Kappa's
the,
laugh.
the
What's
new
it called?
Scroll bar.
I don't
The
know, I
new
don't
scroll
watch
bar's going well. So back... Here we go. So A grade is off the gates, and I managed to pick up Jeffy Creel there. So he is leading the charge of A grade at the moment, and good to see him absolutely ripping it round and putting the messages through. So what they really want to do, Greg, is for the longest amount of time, keep the most amount of riders together.
Correct.
That is essentially what you want to do if you've never chopped before, so to speak. So, yep, that's what you want to do. You want to stay together and sit about mid-backpack, maybe pull a turn from time to time. Obviously, Jay Vine usually off the front and pulling his weight around, but Greg's having a bit of a hot
Is
flash.
it winter or Kappa? How long did you have the heater on
Greg's
in
having
here
a hot
earlier?
It was on as soon as I come in. But
What'd
it's-
you put
it's
it on?
not hot.
32
It's
degrees.
definitely not hot in here.
Oh my god! And I can't take me. I
Extraordinary.
haven't got my work shirt on. I can't take my hoodie off.
Well, you're not on the camera, mate. So
Unbelievable. So there you go. So yeah, plenty happening tonight, and we're looking forward to another big race after this one. But we're going to stay with the chop all the way through, and
We're going to get an overlap. Can you believe it?
So yeah, well,
Can you believe it?
Not next week. We won't.
No,
him.
next week we won. I'm still just waiting for the...
Are we allowed to hit the button yet? Or?
No, we're not allowed to yet because I'm waiting for the green light. But yeah, so here we are, Benny Gove. Capper, let's choose another rider to follow, mate, in C grade, and we'll give a little bit of background here on Zwift Power as well. Go through some of the data. We've got M. Otaka in here, a few shout outs as Greg finds his way around, and we'll bring in some time gaps pretty soon. O. Booth in there, C. Boyd, J. Barker, T. Newen. Not seeing Escagante in there at the moment, one of the riders we follow really closely, the career of very, very closely. Well, Benny Gove now rolling through to the front.
He's picked it up a little bit.
Question without a helmet.
And so just to touch on O. Booth, that's Oscar Booth, and he was in that sprint finish last week with your man Lavender, who took the chocolates in the lavender socks. We can't see Lavender in there tonight. One of the best finishes we've ever called in our racing history was that. The Lavender came through.
Up the ramp they come, Greg, at 4% here. A lot of feather power-ups being played, so good time to play that. Very, very smart there by the choppers. And as such, these choppers, of course, they race frequently and they know exactly what they are doing. So a good time to do it. And as Surly Chop said, 10 chances, 10 power-ups if you don't mind. So you can just risk it. I mean, if you're a punter, this is a delight. So you can absolutely risk it all the way. Maybe on about the 8th lap, if you think you've got the aero or exactly what you need, that is where you want to land. So, of course, that is always good news when you get that aero power helmet, Greg.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we're getting to the point now we're going to start looking at some splits. So we're just following with Booth. I'm going to find some data on him in a minute. But I'm just going to throw this out there. There's a few D graders in there that probably should have picked another grade, but that'll all sort itself out as they roll through. And so the front of D grade.
But if you're coming in for the first time, you kind of get it.
I get it.
You're trying to find your way. You're not so sure. You're probably not, confident in yourself. So you just pick the lower one and then work your way up. So of course, if you ride out a cat and you are in D or C next week, just make sure you jump on up and give yourself a challenge and really push on through. So such is the nature of a 10-lap course. Of course, you're going to see these groups starting to swallow up different riders in different categories as they come on through. So expect to see that as well. So here we go. I think we've got a bit of a mismatch already as A grade works their way through C grade here. So a lap down, essentially. So they've got a lap head start. What a great way to pick this up now. So you've got A grade at the moment, which I'm following A grade here on the other banana, so to speak. They've just moved through C grade. So they've got a whole lap. They've got to catch them back a whole lap to get the jockeys. So really interesting to see.
2.9 Ks apart over and wherever they've got to go.
There we go. And I was just about to say, this can disturb the dynamic of the group as C graders get a sniff and go, well, I might have a little bit of taste
I'll have a bit of that. I'll have a bit
of a lick of the ice cream. But best to just let them go and mosey on through and sit back and stay with your ride leader and pay attention.
Absolutely. So just a few numbers on our man, Oscar Booth. He's out of South Africa. He's actually very new to the chop. He's raced the chop. This is his third time now in the chop. And last time out, pushed a lazy 4 watts a kilo. So not a bad little result, but we'll see how it goes.
He's taken our advice a week early. He's moved up to B grade.
Good on him.
So he did. So he took the chockies and...
I think if you take the chockies, you've got to step it up, right?
Well, that's what we do in the league. If you take the chockies in the month, you step it up because that's what it's all about. That's what Zwift Racing's about. Unless you're an A grade, of course, there's not much room to go. But I think there had to be an A plus pretty soon, don't you think,
Surely.
Greg?
Platinum.
Because I used to be at least top 10. Now I'm lucky to be top 100 in A grade. It's unbelievable the stacked talent now.
A lot of pros and stuff come through the ranks, that's for sure.
It's extraordinary. It's extraordinary.
Now, speaking of people absolutely ripping it up, and we're going to jump across to A grade soon, but it'd be amiss of us not to just say a quick hello out to the Tommy Ing man, the man Tommy Ing, who's going to back up and do the double again. I hope he doesn't fall off his trainer tonight.
I don't think you can do the double tonight. I think you're going to struggle because
you won't be able to. You have
unless
to pull
you're
out.
going to win the chop by 3 minutes.
No, not going to happen.
You're going to have to.
Next week we will be on.
That is exactly right. So let's go through. We'll have a look at some riders. Let's bring up a couple of time gaps, Greg, because now's probably a pretty good time. We're 12 minutes deep here with C grade, and we'll try and give a bit of an indication as to where the groups are at the moment and working their way around. So we've got D grade up the road, and so just to get some time gaps, of course, at the moment. So we've got 3 minutes and 12 back to C grade at the moment. A group of 43 riders, that's solid. But here's really solid. B grade is sitting with 89 9 riders at the moment. That's what you want to see. That is rock solid. There's going to be some really fresh riders in that pack. And then and they are 5:29 back of D grade, so about a 2.5 minute gap to C. If your head's about to wobble off, so is mine. And then A grade, if you don't mind, they are only 1 minute and 30 back off B grade. Have they chewed some time early? Their ETA is at 43 minutes, if you don't mind, at the moment on Zwift Power Live. So you head on over to zwiftpower.com and you can pick up this race live. A good way to follow these handicap-style races, particularly when they chuck in 10 laps, of course, so it makes it a little bit easier to follow live. I know the race organiser is Timmy Searle, of course, and I know he is pretty keen on watching it there as well. And, that's a bit of a shame. We're getting that from a few people at the moment, so we'll see what's going on there. So, Kappa, we'll have to get the screwdriver out.
What's happened?
And apparently the stream quality is not coming up too bad, but, geez, it looks good on my
good
phone.
on my phone.
I haven't had a glitch yet. So, Anyway, apologies for that if you're getting those glitches, but... smooth as a baby's bum on my phone.
Maybe
but,
ring Telstra.
Anyway,
Ring Telstra. They'll sort it out.
Who knows? So sorry about that if that's the case. But anyway, we'll push on and hopefully it fixes itself. So here we are with Newen. And here we've got 2 Newens in with C grade, and we might jump across to A grade. What do you think, Kappa? Because I'm with Jeffrey Creel at the moment, who does a great job leading A grade around. Flick on over, here we go. So with A grade at the moment, we'll pick that up and we're getting a little bit of game noise, which is nice to see as well. Yep, I agree, Timmy Searle. But so this is the thing, here we go. Looks coverage is perfect, all flowing through. That's great. So good to hear. You do get a bit of mixed messages, and you got to pay that gas bill.
Now, I know, speaking of gas, I know we've got to, we've just jumped across to A grade, but I do want to highlight one of the absolute stars in this C grade group, and that is Melissa Perro, AHDR rider. And she actually finished 4th place last week, believe it or not, and set a new FTP on Zwift. So good to follow her along tonight. Watch her in the finish, and she's moving through the ranks week in, week out in the chop. So keep your eye out in that C-grade bunch from Melissa Perro.
Let's go through a few of the other C-grade riders. We'll try. It's very hard to obviously correspond and get them to follow as well as down there on Zwift Power as well, but we should move through a couple of the C-grade riders as well and go through something of what they're about, because they'll be working their way. It's all relative, of course. These guys will be pushing just as hard as A, but of course it is absolutely Greg's got the
I'm sweating. It's winter.
He's called for the fan.
I need the fan.
He's called for the fan.
Unbelievable.
He must need a bit of a lie down.
Oh, well, speaking of lie downs, Kappa, someone had a little lie down last week. He couldn't handle the pace.
C-grade going beautifully here, Greg. C-grade going absolutely beautifully. They've chewed through nearly 12 kilometres here of the course, so working their way around here at 54 kilometres an hour. We're watching V Maltese at the moment, and N Kurger in there working his way through to the front. We've got S Juice in there. I wonder if the S you actually pronounce that, but I will just go with the J or the S. Who knows? Well, that's a good name. FB Dead. That's an absolute rip it up the back.
I can't even see that.
And,
that's
that
great.
Just popped up. I like that. That is
a bit of Australian
that is
humour
great.
there.
If that is your name, that's unfortunate, but I highly doubt that. M Shanks there sitting up. Nice tight pack here, Greg.
It's a bit
C-grade, well organised. Not too many riders there, but easy C, says Benny Gove at the moment.
37 riders. 37 riders now in that C grade group. So look at that B grade group behind. 84 riders coming along. So look out. They are coming. So just a quick bit of an update now. ZP's just updated. So 36 in the C grade group.
Yep.
61 in the B grade group, so they've whittled down big time now. And that A grade bunch, they are absolutely flying, but only 35 riders in that main pack. So it's going to be
absolutely looking at round A grade tonight.
So they are coming in well under our predicted time too, Tim, that we spoke about pre-race. So watch out for those guys.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point. I wonder why that is. Maybe the wind's blowing the right way today on Zwift.
Considering they're doing a loop, they're going to get a headwind and a crosswind.
Oh, yeah.
I will say this,
Good
on our
point.
little ride today, I thought I rode down into a headwind, and I said to you, we'll get a tailwind home. Did the wind turn around? Or was just that I was poo-pooed? I got a headwind home as well today. So
Did you really?
Yeah. Maybe it's just
I didn't
me.
get that.
Oh,
I was good as gold.
Sitting
I was
up having a
fresh.
chat.
just rolled up the old hill.
For
on the
those
way
that
home.
don't know, Tim's got to go up a 20% climb with about 500 metres to go. That must be hell.
My peak heart rate is my finish of my ride. Isn't that right, Capo?
That's the worst.
It's great coaching. Like you always say as a coach,
Cool
make
down.
sure you have a nice cool down and all that sort of stuff. Nah, just 20%. The Kappa, that's the cost of living on top of the hill, mate.
Yeah.
That's the cost.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what you have to
worth
pay. You know.
Well, you don't mention the down bit. We're down in the dark ditch, really.
Last
Really.
week, it's good that you guys have followed up on my fall last week. I recovered well.
What fall?
Yeah, exactly, right. So
you fell down
I
the hill.
had a little fall down the hill, and so I'm all good, Kappa. So just in case you wanted to inquire as to my health, I'm back.
How many laps deep are we here,
He
Greg?
doesn't even say a word.
Well, it's not important, Greg. It's not important. I'll tell you what is important, and I'm going with it because that's how we roll.
Yep, we're
is
going.
that we are absolutely going. So believe it or not, humdinger, if you want to pull me up now, now's the time. But of course,
We're coming in hot.
just like last year, it was a massive, massive success last year, the lamb chop there. And it is coming back and kicking off next week, the lamb chop.
It's back,
and,
baby.
We will be covering all 6 weeks of it. And we even have put together a little stinger, a little promo. We're going to go full screen
Oh,
because
look
that's what it deserves. Kappa's been working hard on this one. So it's great to have the lamb chop back. We got plenty of content coming out, of course, of the Black Sheep crew down there as well. And let's kick with the stinger. We'll come back and we're going to talk a lot more about it in terms of what to expect, what's on the line, and what you can win. Get involved.
Chop.
Involved. Chop. Get involved. You can sign up now. Do what I do. Just go into the old Google browser, type in Zwift Events Lamb Chop, and it'll come up, and the 6 events are there. It all kicks off next Thursday night on July 2nd. That is race 1. A great series being put together here by the team there at Black Sheep and, of course, Zwift Oz New Zealand all coming together. Plenty on the line. It was hugely popular last year. And you'll have noticed there in the promo it says short, sharp, fast. So we've gone with a shorter type chop.
Yes.
So it's going. Some of the numbers, Greg, are going to be
Off the charts.
Absolutely off the charts. So we'll go through that. So race 1, of course, is Watopia there. That's on July 2nd. So that's the Volcano Circuit. 4 laps.
Wow.
4 laps
That's like
counterclockwise.
counterclockwise, but that'll be so fast.
That'll be absolutely hooking it round. So really looking forward to that. Not much elevation in the counterclockwise,
No.
of course, but they'll be getting around that very, very quickly. But I'm sure Tim Searle will have all the algorithms out, trying to work out how to handicap over,
he's going to
over
have to
4
tighten
laps.
the
So
field
challenge
up there.
has been
You'll have
thrown
to
down there.
Tighten it up, Surly.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, of course, in race 2, so we're really doing the lap around Zwift, as they say. Race 2, of course, will be Richmond, the fan flats there, just 4 laps of the fan flats. So short, sharp, hard, fast racing. We'll come to some of that content in a second. Then we jump on over to Innsbruck. The Innsbruck ring, just 2 laps, which is just like our Coa Sports League.
Tonight,
So
yeah.
if you want to see what the Innsbruck ring is all about, keep watching from 8 p.m. We've got our Coa Sports League verified race coming right up. Race 4, the London Classic with a Q, of course. 3 laps of that bad boy. So that's 21.9
Pretty
kilometres
flat again.
of absolutely
Little kicker there, 5-6%,
tiny.
3 times.
tiny little
And a
kicker.
good sprint. That's the track for the sprinters, the London Classic, with about a K flat to finish.
It's a big kicker if you're Kappa.
Well, yeah, any kicker's a big kicker if you're Kappa.
And then race 5 over to New York, the 6-train reverse course, 3
Bit
laps
hilly
of
one.
that bad boy, and then back to Watopia Flat, back to where it all started on the final race, race 6. So we wrap it all up there in early August. So isn't time going to fly over the next 6 weeks?
Absolutely.
We've got all the Black Sheep ambassadors lined up. We've got plenty of content. We're going to be talking all about the Man Ride, the WMN initiative, so lots of Black Sheep content. Bit of prizes, so if you we're going to be stringing together some code words.
Ooh.
So each week we'll be putting a code word out there if you tune in.
That'll test us.
And then at the end of it, you'll put the 6 code words together.
Oh,
That'll
it's
make
like Wheel of Fortune.
That'll make something. Then you submit that
It's called a sentence.
to
That's one of the best ones, Kappas. That's one of your best, some of your best work, Kappa.
I quit.
Okay, so you submit that to where?
Submit that to Black Sheep, I believe. We'll go to the rules in a second. We'll tidy up on that next week. Get in there and you can win a bunch of prizes. So check that out and get involved. So, of course, you have to sign up for the series. And in order to, really important as well, if you want to count for points in the series and you have to be on Zwift Power.
Yep.
So a bit like when we call these races sometimes where we call the finish, and sometimes it can look like a bit of a random sprint finish, anything like that. We call it as we see it. But of course, not everyone is on Zwift Power. Of course, you do need a mathematics degree to get onto Zwift Power.
Yeah, sometimes it's very
when I first
tricky.
did, it's much easier now.
Yeah.
But when I did it about 4 or 5 years ago, goodness gracious me, I think I smashed my laptop 3 times.
Yeah.
But get onto Zwift Power if you want to be included in the points. So bring it on, I say. Bring it on.
Yeah, it's
indeed,
going to be
mate. Can't
it's
wait.
going to be great 6 weeks and a heap of fun, short, sharp, fast racing, and we'll have a lot of good stuff coming through from some amazing Black Sheep ambassadors. I've been having a look through some of that stuff this afternoon in preparation. See that word, guys? Preparation for next week, and we're going to be talking to a lot of those athletes over the next week to get them up on the show as well. There you go. That's good, Kappa. You've done well with that one. That's very nice.
Thanks, mate.
It's a blue sheep. But,
We're getting anything there, Greg?
we're
We're
a bit
getting it.
s-
We
bit
are
slow.
getting
Here
love.
we
We're
go.
back. We're
We're
back
back.
here. We're back here indeed. So we'll bring some time gap back to the action here. So D grade's a little bit splintered up there, and now C grade now just 2 minutes back. 2 minutes and 12 seconds back, I should say. Be more precise, Tim. Be more precise. I've got to really sharpen up. Everyone's going to be watching next week. We've got HQ on board.
Look
We're
out.
going to be hard marking us,
I'm
Greg.
nervous.
We love
I'm
pressure.
nervous.
We love pressure. C grade 212 back. B grade 401 back of D grade. So if by my maths is just a fraction under 2 minutes there. And then only 19 seconds.
Unbelievable.
A grade of B grade. So what will happen is there will be some riders in B grade
You're gonna
who
hook it.
can go with A grade. Maybe I've never seen them catch them that early. Have you?
Yeah,
Have you
no,
ever seen
I don't
them?
think so.
I don't
so.
think I've ever seen them. So we're going to
just
get
don't-
a huge blob
I
of
just
riders.
see there's some interesting stuff going on there because I'm watching Jeff Creel. He's showing at 17.7 Ks, but C grade's showing at 19 Ks now.
That's
so
about right.
That doesn't reflect in the time split, unfortunately. But so I'm going to have a look at what's happening on the screen.
Go with your eyes, you reckon?
Yeah,
Go with your
'cause
eyes.
By your reckoning, A grade should be able to see C grade up the road right now, and that ain't B grade.
No.
Sorry, but that ain't happening.
Oh
no, I'm looking. Okay,
I
no,
think
I think you're right.
I think you can just sit down,
just
have a lie
question-
down. Greg.
There they are now. Look at that. They've
that
just
hot-
rolled up to B grade.
That hot
Sorry,
flush
I was
has got a hold of you.
comparing. I was comparing C grade to A grade. So C grade still have that break up the road of 2 minutes.
Here's the massive blob. Let's see how many
Here they are now.
B-graders can
Sorry.
pick it up and really push on. So here we go. So this is where it's going to
That's
start to
huge.
get really interesting because we've still got so A grade's still got 10 Ks to go and about 9 Ks to go there for C grade. So plenty of time. Plenty of time. So they're going to have to close down about 2 minutes over the final stages of this race. So they've got
I think
about
they've got 'em covered.
3.5 laps to go, 4 laps to go. You don't want to give it away in broadcasting, I would have thought, Greg. You don't want to give away the ending. So, yes, that sixth sense, of course, is
It's
that
like-
he can see dead people.
Well,
We'll just say
it's-
that
no,
right
but
at the start of the
hang on.
movie.
It's like,
Is that what we do?
No, I've got a funny story about that. I had another girlfriend at the time, but I asked her at the end
That's
of the movie.
two. So you've been married once.
Yep.
You've spoken about an ex-girlfriend.
Yep.
You're all good.
Oh, so everything's good. Everyone's happy.
Just making sure.
And I asked her at the end of the movie what just happened. I had no idea. It was
Really?
probably on my phone or something. Anyway, yeah,
it's like
there
the
you
old
go.
mayor of Hiroshima.
I'm not. Oh, Jesus. He
That's
woke
the
up,
old saying.
shook his head.
That's the
didn't
old
know
saying.
what happened.
Kappa always shakes his head when I say that.
what
So here we
happened.
go on through here. So C going to find it pretty hard, I think, to hold off this massive blob here of A and B grade as they work their way around. So we're going to have to probably jump on back. And Greg, I'm just going to throw to you for a second. I've got to have a little chat to Kappa
Yeah, you're
off
right.
air, so to speak.
Go
So you're going to
for
have
it.
to hold the fort.
So we're looking at. I'm just having a quick buzz in there to A grade. We've got Jeff Creel still leading that bunch along. His heart rate's now at 161. So they're at 19.5 Ks. They are 1 kilometre, just 1 kilometre. You'll see them now on the top right-hand corner of that map. You see the C grade group there, just heading past the pond on the right, and the A graders right up there, Clacker. They are coming in hot, but. Plenty happening here, and keep your comments coming through as well on Facebook, on Coal Sports and ZCL, wherever you are watching. And you are right, Stephen Chan, there is a huge, massive blob coming through, so that's good
Thanks,
to
Greg.
see as well. So
Thanks, Greg. Just
I think
doing
we're
some
gonna
off-production there.
We're going to tech across to the A grade on Kappa's potato. I reckon is going to happen. Is that what we're talking about?
Yep, so if you've just tuned in, of course, the Lamb Chop kicking off next week, 6 weeks of hard and fast racing, short, sharp chop racing, and get involved with that series. That's going to be massive, of course. So, plenty of action. We've got lots of content around, lots of stories to tell. We like telling stories, Greg, and certainly some riders in the community out there who've got some pretty stunning stories to tell, which we'll share with you. So shout out to Johnny Paulson and the team down there at Black Sheep. When I say down there, relative to where we are here, up here on the Sunshine Coast, they're down in Brizzy, of course, and check them out. So really looking forward to bringing that to the Zwift Community Live crew out there, of course. So you'll be tuning in and lots of action.
Yeah, can't wait. That's going to be really exciting. I remember watching it last year going, holy dooly, look at the numbers in this event. So I'm sure as winter kicks in the southern states, well, even here today, Tim, I have my arm warmers on in Australia. There'll be a stack of athletes joining in there. I've got a few athletes around the country now that are dealing with a bit of snow and sleet. So I have no doubt that they'll be jumping right on the kicker next Thursday night for the Lamb Chop.
Yes, some work to do here. So D-grade, a nice tidy bunch there up front, by the way, with D-grade. So the diesels of D-grade, as they say. So they've still got a pretty handy lead. We've just got one there, just making up the numbers there, but that's okay. So D-grade, they're what are they, about a minute? They're a minute ahead of C. So they're going along beautifully at the moment, and some good numbers coming through at about 2.8, 2.9 watts per kilo solid. C grade there, they are, of course, about a minute and 10 back off D grade. And then, of course, A and B, they have just joined the party, and they are rocking and rolling together.
Yeah.
And we'll roll on back to them pretty soon, but we'll stay with C. We like to share the airtime. We've given A their fair share of airtime over the last couple of months.
This
so
C grade
just
bunch
bear
is
in mind,
amazing.
we're trying to spread the love. That's what we're all about.
Yeah, and there's only now 800 metres between C and A. So the two big blobs, the two big packs you can see there, not
Good
too
maths.
far apart. So, 22.6 Ks covered by C grade, and Jeffrey Creel's covered 21.9. So 700 metres. It's coming down. It's coming down fast. So we've got 6.5 kilometres to go here, or 6.8 Ks to go for this C grade group. So not too much racing to go, so they'll have to keep working together. It comes down to that last lap.
Exactly a minute now down off D grade. So D grade still leading the way. We obviously aren't following in, but I'm going to go through some of the D grade riders just in case they want to get a shout out. Of course, important. Adam Young there, AHDR alongside his name there, leading the way of D grade. Andy Van Arend in there. George Gray. And then we've got a bit of a typo there. Regan Giblet. Scott Dowling and Wendy Chow there, one of the female riders getting the job done there. So 7 riders strong there, that front pack of D grade, and doing a great job
Wendy.
holding back. But they're going to have their work cut out. Of course, here with A grade probably giving a little bit of wind burn on the way through. So interesting to see. So Kappa, when A grade come on through, mate, you'll be able to probably pick them up as they roll on through. So C grade done a great job here holding them off.
Down to 400 metres now.
I thought
Down
they might have held them off for a bit longer, but still doing a really, really good job, I might add. So, A and B have really come together. So when they say 39-35, we've got essentially about 75 to 80 riders now working together back in A and B, working together to try and get the chockies.
Can a B grader hold on and to to beat
Maybe.
the A-graders. Who
Maybe.
knows, right?
I wouldn't put if they ride smart and just sit back,
in.
one out, one back, as they say. They can maybe get the chockies. You never know. But some of the top end sprints here of some of these A-graders, which we'll highlight in about 5 minutes' time. Look out.
Yeah, a few pros in there tonight too, so good to see a really strong A and B pack rolling around together. So over, as you said, over nearly 80 riders up against 24 in C grade. So, Tim?
No, all good. I just had a question, but
a question
that's
for
all
who?
right. I was trying to do it subtly, but that's
Write it
okay.
down. Write it
That's
down.
all right. That's all right. So yeah, we need the old mute button, don't we? The old cough.
Kappa's got a mute button. Go on, hit the mute button for a sec, Kappa. No, we've got too many jobs. Hit the mute. The sprint.
Are we back? Are we back?
We're back.
We're live. We're live.
We'll
We're
work it
back
out.
in the studio. How good's that if you're watching? Just Tyler and Sam. We've got some good shout-outs, Greg, coming through. Wendy May Abbott there. Come on, Tyler and Sam J. So lots of cheering going on, and that's one of the beautiful things. You can watch them live in the Pain Cave, or you can, of course, watch them in the coverage as well.
And there's our man of Australian track cycling, well-known, Mr. Decker. He's right in that C-grade group, and he was 3rd or 4th last week. Don't quote me, but he was right in that pack. So there's the A-grade bunch. Only a few hundred metres behind now, so they're rolling up.
500 still below. So they've picked C grade now, starting to stink those teeth in, and really, so they haven't taken any meterage or any time off them in the last about in the last minute or so. So holding on there pretty well. D grade there doing really well now off the front here. Of course, they're leading the charge around there. Still got a lead of about 45 seconds up on C grade. C grade we're following at the moment, and back there, of course, and I'll just go through this time gap, is about 30 seconds.
Well, it's going to be 30
tight. seconds, but it's going to be tight.
The C grade guys have actually, and girls have taken out an extra 100 metres on this big chasing pack. So have they burned all the bickies? Well, time will tell, right? So
A grade went hard early, Greg.
Yeah, they did very hard.
They chewed so much time on those first 3 to 4 laps. So geez, they must have worked hard. They're just moving along here at 50 kilometres an hour, if you don't mind, and they've been going for about half an hour A grade, and of course 34 minutes time elapsed here on C grade.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ben Gove there just asking a little bit more from him now, like he got
time to dig in.
Time to lift, and he's like any good jockey, he's starting to work out what's going on there. So, no, that's just Bock there. Yep. He's rolling around a lap behind, I would imagine, is Bock, the A-grade rider there off the front on the Tron bike. So we won't spend too much time there. We'll keep watching these guys and girls at 26K now. Still 500 metres this gap. It's going to be good. So well done, Ben. You're getting them rolling really well.
Yeah, indeed. Doing a really good job. Doing a really, really good job. So it's great to see. So they're all starting to come together, and not long to go here, Greg. About a couple of laps to go, as they say in the old scale. So be interesting to see who gets the chockies, Greg.
30
seconds.
Gonna
be a fun. We've got a beacon up the front there. It looks like we got the
D-grade. Yep,
beacon.
30 seconds now. The D-grade guys up the road. So and the leader there, I believe, is either Chow or Young. Will be that beacon. I'm not too sure.
Staying
looking up
with
the street.
C here. C's held them off longer than we thought.
Doing great.
They're doing a really, really good job. So it's great to see. Really, really, no pun intended.
Yep, absolutely. So, and a few riders just spinning the other way there, which was interesting. Not too sure what happened there, but there's that D-grade bunch now just up the street, I would imagine, and you can see that beacon coming closer and closer, and that will be very interesting to see now how they're definitely going to roll up to D-grade.
Might not be the whole lot, maybe, because of course the beacon some kinds can do all the work and fall on back, so we'll try and pick that up in a second here on Zwift Power Live and get a bit of a refresh, a bit of a time gap.
There we go. That's Spartacus. That's Ben Gove, actually. He's just done his... Mate. That's all right. So Ben Gove's just done his last effort and he's rolled back through the group. There you go. All in C. So not too far. This is the last lap now. They're taking the flag here to 1 lap to go, and there is 100 riders for us to follow. This is going to be very... Look at that stripe in the top right-hand corner. Surly Chop's done a great job. 2.9 Ks to go.
Thanks,
and they're all coming back together. So the A-grade group now 26.8 Ks. The C-graders at 27. That's still 500 metres. They're still at 500 metres with 1 lap to go. Here they come through now, the A-grade group. And we were going to start...
Some riders.
We're going to try and catch them as they come through, but we'll be doing very well, I would imagine.
Yeah, working their way through at the moment, but they're still holding them off, Greg. There's still a bit of a time gap, so hard to pick that up. There's still a big blob up the road as well, so lots of work still to do. all up in the air, A, B, C or D. It's never been this close, really. It's
Swift Power has C winning at the moment by about 12 seconds over that A-grade group. So, or 6, make that 6 seconds now. It's just changed and come through. So these guys, their leader's given all. He's given his guts, as Ben Gove, as they say, and he has rolled off the back of the group and just let them go. Said, off you go, boys and girls. Go and take the chocky. So we've still got some great riders in there. Dickey is still in that group. Cycles is still in there. Kamari out of Japan. Jay Murray. I don't know if that's Joel Murray. I don't think so. But Jay Murray's still in that group as well. And there you go. Okay, this is the last kilometres. Give it all you got. Come on, let's go. This will be a Quinella for C grade if they can hold them off. They won last week, so we'll see if they can do it again.
There could be some massive flashes here from A grade as well. But Kappa, I think it's probably a good idea we just stay with this coverage.
400 metres.
Picking them up on the way through. We'll see how it goes. But C grade here doing a marvellous job, and the D grade Diesels there holding them off up the road. It would seem at the moment they're still leading the way. They are approximately 16 seconds up the road. We've got Andy Van Arend in there.
Come on,
Wendy
C.
I'm sure there's other riders, of course, maybe potentially up in D grade as well, that just aren't on Zwift Power as well, Greg. So that's what we're trying to go with at the moment. So working their way around here at the moment. So we're following, of course,
Karami. There's the first attack
here
now off the front with the Feather Power Up being played by Boyd off the front of that group now. So Boyd said, I'm going myself, follow me if you can. And Kamari's trying to jump up to his wheel as well. Few power-ups being burned early here, so not too far to go. Well under 500. Looks like they're going to hold them off, guys. So 28.6 Ks there and 300 metres back. Here we go, C grade now. That group's down to about 10 riders. So Woolston's still in there. That's the WP Taz rider. And look at this. You'll see them now coming. Oh, that's a big, long line. Here we go.
They're away, mate.
We're going to stick with this group now, this C grade group, as they come up towards the finish. And we've got Murray in that group. Freeth, Woolston's still in there as well. Yus is still in there. Woodgar's still in there. So great little bunch of athletes here. And we'll just try and jump to the front there. I'll get that front rider Kappa and try and, if you can. Here we go. First sprint now. Boyd, 7.4 watts a kilo from Boyd, straight off the front of the group. Here comes Woodgear up to his wheel. There's someone coming through there now, pushing huge power, rolling straight to the top. Oh, geez, that's a Kajima now loads it up. 8.5 watts a kilo. Up the hill he goes. Kajima's coming up. 9.6 watts a kilo. He can see the finish line in sight. There's a bit going on behind. The A grade group hasn't even figured in the results here. Kajima, 7 watts a kilo. He's going to roll up to the line. Here goes Kajima rolling through lapped athletes. Gestolt's coming now, 9.9 watts a kilo. Gestolt's not going to quite get there. And Kajima takes the chock. He's in the chop. So great riding there from Kajima. And well done to Ben Gove. He gave his guts and got that C grade group going through as well. We might be able to grab the A grade finish here, Kappa. I don't know how
I think they're all done, mate. That's how tight it was.
Wow,
they're literally
really close.
That was an extraordinary handicap race. That was unbelievable to see. That was and we will come back and have a look at those results as they push through on Zwift Power as well. About a minute they usually take to push on through. But what a finish there. Kajima there getting the chockies, as you like to say, as we could see it anyway. But that was an absolute hot mess of riders in a handicap race, if you don't mind.
Best.
We're going to change on Worlds here in a second and flick on over,
so we had
of course, to the Colour Sports League. But don't go, if you are looking for results, we will be reading them out as well. So, incredible finish there and incredible numbers there.
Nothing like calling a finish with 100 riders and they're all within 4 jerseys and 400 metres. So I think we got it right.
It was well done.
Well done, Kajima.
But we
great finish.
Yeah, so, and of course, we only get results here on Zwift Power of people who are registered on Zwift Power, of course, Greg. So, and that's how Surly there does his results, of course, on AHDR. So incredible there. And we'll walk through those in a second, mate. So I think that's official. We've got, we'll let it all sort of refresh and clean on up and come on through. So 4 minutes to go here to the Colour Sports League race. Of course,
big number of riders in here.
Things really not so much starting to heat up. They are well and truly heated up and ready to rock and roll, mate. So, incredible racing.
Wasn't it good just going back to the chop there for a second? That's 2 weeks
double
in a row for C. Yes, they can do the double. So it's 2 weeks in a row for C grade. Unbelievable. So they've held off that A grade chasing group 2 weeks in a row now.
What I want to know is how did they go? By my calculations, when I looked back
at
the last race,
51.
7 minutes. I must have that wrong, but I predicted that.
It wouldn't be the first time he's being wrong, Kappa.
Yeah, I'm wrong quite a lot, actually. I'm wrong quite a lot.
But that's okay.
Yep, got FOMO, joined the Coa Sports League now. Have we got some heavy hitters in the paddock tonight? Really exciting stuff. So, of course, we flick on through. So we've got 2 laps here of Innsbruck, the Innsbruck Ring. And Greg, now you can go with the leg schnapper.
This is one of my favourite courses. I say that every week. The old schnapper. We got that result 100% right, Tim. Kojima took the chockies on the line, provisional,
Off
of
the
course.
app. You're going off the app.
Well,
there.
that's
how we see it.
There's Kojima, and Stolt was in second place. C. Boyd in third, and Jay Murray there coming in for fourth place. And great to see. It was a bloody good race. And just going back to the A-grade group there, we had Yama. He took out the A-grade sprint. Zach Johnson there figured in the results. Look at that. Jeff Creel, third place tonight in the A-grade sprint. So good one there, Jeff.
And so bear in mind, so the next 6 weeks coming up with the lamb chop, we announced that about 20 minutes ago. We're going to run with that in a second.
Is it on?
If you want to get points, of course, you have to be registered on Zwift Power. That's really, really important that you go and do that, because we may call the winner right there, but then if you're not on Zwift Power, no chocolates. So Kappa, hit the stinger, mate, and then we're going to come back for the start of the almighty Coa Sports League race.
Here we go, and
you catch that?
big events coming up. That was a little click. It's like you're clicking it away to Tim, but you should never do that. And I cannot wait for the lamb chop, because you know what? I have got that much black sheep gear right now that I can wear, and I sported my little. I had a fancy new number on today.
You've got one for every race. You've
April.
definitely got 6 kits.
No, I don't. April would, but I've put an embargo on her, so she's been banned. She's got a month on the sidelines. Like we do in the Coa Sports League, you have a month off, and then you can come back again. But fair to say, Black Sheep, one of the most amazing, if not the most amazing kits on the market. Looks great. And that's what a lot of people want to do on the bike these days, guys. They don't just want to roll around like Tim Kappa in his fluorescent yellow socks. They want to look good on the road.
Well, look good, go fast, right?
That's it. Is that the tagline? It certainly is.
We're about to roll on out.
Here
Greg,
we go.
if you haven't noticed.
5-4. The next Kappa at the back with his silver fox hair. He's got to grab a rider now. So here we go. Dalton Stretton's just come across from that other race there as well. And this big pack of riders rolling straight off the front. We're just with Ryan Rosselli there. Ryan has been one of the biggest improvers, I'm going to say, right through the Coa Sports League since we started a couple of months ago.
Yeah, good to see. Good to see. Nice, tidy start pack here as they work their way around. So a two-lapper tonight, just a two-lapper, and they'll start to spread out as we know. And of course, some of the bigger names, of course, in there as well. So we'll go through some of the leaderboard as well of June. This is the last race in June, and there's a lot on the line. It's pretty tight across most categories. It's pretty tight across most categories because, of course, if you want to see the real results, the filtered results, the results that matter in the Coa Sports League, go to coasportsleague.com and check them out. That is where you want to get them from. So we'll go through that in a second. And the teams racing, of course, is wide open and alive. Jess Hamilton doing an unbelievable job, a female rider there for BRT, just sweeping the points week on week as the team captain of BRT. So doing a great job. We'll go through some of the riders in a second as they wind their way through Arnie's Village, Greg.
Now, Arnold, get in the chopper. So anyway, we're rolling through Innsbruck here, and I did see a rider. There's Lavender's in this group tonight, actually, from the chop. Lavender's in there. There's Mark Webber's brother. There's Mark Webber's brother, A. Webber, and I did see, Kappa, I saw a little one there, one of Kent's kids rolling around. Is that a team, Kent's
It is,
kids?
yeah.
It is.
They
Are
do
they
pretty
your
well.
athletes, Kent's
Good to see
kids?
you. Yeah.
Wow. Are
Not
they on the
really.
leaderboard?
They are on the leaderboard, mate. They're
Look
third
out.
at the
Kent's
moment.
kids.
They're doing a great job at the moment.
What a
so
pisser. I didn't even know that. There you go.
That's great. Kids, earmuffs. No, they'd be in bed by now for sure.
Hopefully.
So Ryan Britton, what a month he has had. What a month he has had. So at the moment, he's leading the way on 13 points, 5 points clear. So cannot be. No, he's 6 points clear, Greg.
It's the last race of the month.
So he can't. He's claimed A grade, so
Wow.
he could just sit up and drink a coffee. But that's not how Britton
Champagne.
rolls.
No, he'll
that's
win again
not how
tonight.
he rolls, mate. He's going to ask the question, and when he's going to ask
That's
that
skull
question,
and crossbones.
is up and over the leg schnapper, and we're going to actually spend a little bit more time rolling our way back because we give a lot of coverage up to this front group. So we'll stick with them as they work their way up this front, this very first leg snapper, and then they'll come back together and we'll work our way. Simon Nielsen in there, Aiden Sinclair
Look
of
who's at
Team
the
Canyon
back.
there, just riding at
Ollie
the back
Jones
there,
in there too.
taking a leaf out of Alex West's book. Of course, Ollie Jones, Canyon
Yeah,
Z,
he's
don't
back.
ride him off.
Britain's
back.
going to have his
Canyon-
work set out for him with
Oh.
Ollie Jones in there.
Yeah, Ollie Jones is absolutely a humdinger of a rider, Greg. Kurt Wechrend in there, love the Wechrend.
You're getting better at that.
Aaron Staggy there, he's in there. Britain comes through to the front, which is interesting to see, and plenty of comments coming
Throw
through.
a question out. What does our mate Staggy over in Kiwi
Zealand.
Land, his team's FFC?
Yes.
Can you elaborate on what that
I
means?
actually have it on email. I don't have it off the top of my head, but of course, when they submit their team, we ask them for their story, and I just don't know off the top of my head, Greg, because we've got about 25 teams, and
Right.
I'm
Is
busy.
that all?
I'm busy.
You're a busy man. Busy man. So good tight front pack here. I wouldn't expect
Relentless
that
showing
many.
up.
Wouldn't expect that many on the second lap after the schnapper. So yeah, relentless.
there.
Always showing up. 10 giving is relentless. So 10 riders again in that front group. Rylan Mosby's in that group. He always figures in the top 10 as well. 99 bikes rider, and great to see. I reckon there's 5 to 6 Coal Sports athletes in this front group. So they are lifting their game every week. Just
Welcome along,
absolutely
Reese
smashing it.
Howe. Welcome along, Reese Howe, the team manager and fearless leader of Canyon
Oh.
CCC. I'm sure he had a nice little sleep. He had a nice little nightcap, and he's woken up fresh as a daisy, ready for the big day that awaits him. He had a big day yesterday, and you know what?
It's
If
a bit
I'm a
going
rider
on.
on his team, that's what I want. I want a guy out
Man that
there
stands up.
just absolutely letting it and laying it down there. So welcome along, and of course the Canyons ECC team doing wonderful things out there in the Zwift community. Team Relentless just alongside them as well, doing great things. Team Aero there, we've got Dalton Stritton in there of Team Aero, so the Aero boys turning up now. The Australian Esports Racing Organisation. Looks like
Some
we've got
attack.
a little attack there
That's
off the
Kadiro,
front.
is it?
In the
No, yeah.
in the all pink kit, we'll flick on through and try and find him in just a second. Kurt Wechrend asking the question there at 6.8 watts per kilo, rolling on back, just stretching the legs. Will we get a response before the leg snapper? That's pretty early in the Coa Sports League race. Maybe just a little bit of a warm up. Maybe part of a workout even. Such is the arrogance at the
mate.
moment here. Just
Right
stretching
in.
the legs, and they've swallowed him right up.
Yeah, mate, to see him roll back through that group very quickly. And there, I'm going to call this, there's a rider in there, T-Boy, I'm going to call him Tommy Boy. So Tommy Boy rolling through there as well. And Messinio's in there, guys, Team ZF. He's got a couple of teammates in there tonight as well. So good to see him in there. Hasn't quite got that sprint right for a while now, but we'll see Messinio. And good to see little Aiden Sinclair just sitting off the back of the group, just watching them roll along there with his light flashing. So good to see. Really good, strong front group.
Did we cover the? Sorry, apologies. Did we cover the chop results yet?
I
Have we
went
done the
through
top
just
10?
on the companion app, but
Let's go off Zwift Power. So off Zwift Power, we had Kevin Tuck there taking the chockies there, and then we had in second position Joel Murray, third position there Katie Banjeri,
female
obviously
winner.
Oscar Booth there in fourth, your favourite. Steve Parker in fifth. Tim Decker there in sixth place. But I wonder if this is all going to refresh. We might refresh our screen. Catherine Woolston, Phoenix Cycles there, eighth. Zaki Yama and Marcus Dickey there in 10th place. But we're going to refresh it because it can change from time to time. So we'll come back and see.
Surly Chops has called Tim Decker for the win. So pending, he
not
says.
sure.
Early results.
Okay.
And we'll leave the results from here on.
There we go.
We'll leave. Oh, there we
Thank
go.
you, Silly
Cleaned
Chops.
itself
Thank
up.
you. So Tim Decker there on Zwift Power getting the chalky. Zach Johnson, can he throw down? Remember in the community race?
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Just missed though. Zakiyama just took him. But look at that average. So we didn't cover much of the A grade group because we obviously picked the right group. But Zach Johnson, just a lazy 6.1 watts a kilo for 44 minutes.
Shout out to Jeff Creel there.
Yeah, big effort.
That's a huge effort to lead the way there. And
highest 1 minute power in the whole
Sinclair's
event.
off the front, just cut guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kappa. And we'll bring it on back here.
Up
So
the
Sinclair,
schnapper.
10.9 watts per kilo by Aidan Sinclair, throwing it down and asking the question early. Don't want to give him too much rope. Oh my goodness,
Jacob
we've got
Wilson's
orange lights.
coming across.
We've got a full orange light board on the right-hand side. We've got it again. Huge numbers asking the question at 600 watts, Aidan Sinclair. Ryan Britton now bridges across. I'm having none of that on the green Tron bike. He's probably going to give him a little bit of windburn, maybe flick the elbow, which you can't do anymore, which is disappointing. Sucks the wheel back there of Aidan Sinclair. He's gone early. Probably got a little bit bored knowing Aidan. He just gets a little bit bored and he likes to throw it down, which we love to see with racing.
Yeah, wait till you see. Oh, there's the top of the schnapper now.
That was so quick.
Kappa, if we can spin that round, we will see the attrition on the back of this group. Look at that. Look at that train. There's still athletes in that front A grade group still not hit that corner yet. So
unbelievable explosion.
90 night to them. They can worry about the next race. But well done, Aidan Sinclair. Just lit that up. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 relentless riders.
It's a pack.
8, 9, 10 relentless riders in that 11. So, wow, unbelievable. And thank you to Team Relentless. And Jacob Wilson, if you are watching, we will sort out that interview very shortly. Time zones is a bit tough, to be fair, Central Standard Time in the US of A for us.
Looks like we've got our front pack here. So that's what I was saying. We'll stay all the way to the bottom, Kappa, and then we're going to absolutely roll our way back and commentate. We'll definitely try. If hopefully Jess Hamilton is racing, we'll have a look. We'll definitely pick up one of the leading female riders. Aidan Sinclair now after that being the beautiful aero tuck position, just sitting out, more than one out, one back. He's about 20 out, one back, and doing a wonderful job. So rolling on through, but it's good to see Ollie Jones there in that front pack. Some of the names, of course, out on the Zwift. And there's that gap back there of about, I'm going to say 11 seconds, if you don't mind, umpire back to that group. So let's flick on back because we've got a really good race. This is what we like to try and do, is cover as many finishes as we can. Yeah. And we'll come on back young there to B grade.
Young man in that group there, Brandon Geriel, look at that, Neutron bike. He's gone the yellow.
Congratulations,
He's got
Brando.
there finally. So these guys will work really hard. I know Brando better than most athletes we coach, over this group anyway. And Brando will work his bum off with Ryan Rosselli to try and bring this back. And I can tell you right now, Corey Dams in that Relentless kit will not do a thing. He'll just sit in there. And Kevin Robertson there, sorry, I shouldn't say that. Kay Robertson, BRT, one of Daz Carter's mate. Daz Carter's definitely in that front group. And then we've got another group there, Capra, if you want to drop back to Alex Tolman and who else we got in there? Staggy's in there. We've got Parshin in there. Werend, the guy that went early, Werend, he's been dropped and popped off the back of that group. And these guys are going to come through now, burning up a couple of power-ups because they're going to get another one when they come through that group. So Lavender just off the back of this group as well at another 7 seconds. But it's fair to say that young Sinclair absolutely threw a bomb in that group as they went up the first time up the schnapper, and we'll see if they do it again. And here's Rosselli and Brando now trying to bridge back across to that group so they can still see him up the road. The Carrot's up there. Robertson's coming back as well, and Corey Dams will come back to these two as well. But this was really, that's such a hard, that's
They're
the
going to have
worst
to work
view in
together.
Zwift.
They're going to have to work together, and some comments coming through here. Wendy May Abbott, congrats, Tim! ! Thanks,
well
Wendy.
done, Tim.
I'm sure that's directed at me. And Wendy, really appreciate it. So good to see that coming through, of course, on Zwift Community Live at the moment. Plenty of comments coming through on Koa Sports. If you're tuning in, Cycling Australia or Training Peaks, wherever you are tuning in, welcome along.
Plenty out there.
And we've brought those results through. So we've got Leandro Messineo. Good to see him back. I believe that maybe a couple of weeks off by my calculations, but good to see him riding strong there in the front pack. And they're about to finish the first lap already, if you don't mind, umpire. They have absolutely made a mockery of the Innsbruck ring at 2 laps. Can you imagine what the lamb chop's going to be like? 2 laps?
Look at oh no, there'll be 600 of them.
The handicapping will be 30 seconds. Like, seriously, it'll be extraordinary.
Oh my God! So Ollie Jones now just a lazy 6.6 watts a kilo, leading the group through. Look at that! There's a gap. So Ollie Jones just put 6.78 watts a kilo into that front group on the flat. So when everyone's having a little rest and a little drink, a little tipple of water,
that's
Tim,
awkward.
He's put the pedal to the metal, and we'll see if the Relentless guys put a plug in the front of it. Though they might just put a plug in it and let their teammates come back.
Well, they're at the front, so when you say put a plug in it, you wouldn't want to be
3
doing
out of
all
6.
the work. So they're certainly dominating
Ryan
that front group.
Oh, they're coming back. So Sinclair coming back across. Ryan Britton was right in that front group, and I'm going to throw you right onto the bus now, Tim. PB5's name is
Patrick Burrows.
Hey, old Paddy.
Likes to keep it low key. He'll be happy for me to throw his name out there. Sorry about that, Patrick Burrows.
America's Most Wanted. Is that right?
No, I wouldn't have thought so. But I tell you what, this front group's making it hard for us to click back.
There's a bit happening here tonight. There's no sitting around here, so we just stay with
11 minutes. 11 minutes for that first lap.
Unbelievable.
Cridland there sitting at the back of the pack, really smart riding. And
Rosselli and Brando now definitely, that puffer valve has certainly blown a gasket because they're 36 seconds back with Corey Dams. So they will fight that second bunch sprint out now, those guys, 37 seconds back. And then we've got another big group at a minute. So that group there, which contains Webby and Tolman and Wet End. He launched it early. He's just been popped off this group now. So he hit that massive attack, 12 watts a kilo early, but might have been setting something up for someone else as well.
See if we can't get another few packs back there. We've got a good pack there at 2:03, I think, there, Kappa. So we'll go there. Sarah Goodyear, Simon Smith there, who, of course, Jess Hamilton. Good to pick up here.
We got her.
So Jess Hamilton rolling around at the moment here, more than rolling around, I should say, here with Sarah Goodyear in this pack. Zach Anstey, shout out to Zach Anstey. He's about to go under the knife. Got the call this afternoon, and he has ripped his shoulder to shreds. And I said, well, why don't you just rip it a little bit more because you're going under the knife in about a week's time. Yeah. So Zach Anstey last week, you gave him a clip at the finish line. He did it one-armed, Greg.
Wow.
One-armed bandit, Zach Anstey.
That was a great sprint. That was one of my favourite sprints I've ever called, that one. They were all busted.
Slow-mo.
And good to see Sarah Goodyear in there. She's running second at the moment, only 1 point behind Kate Spicer. So I haven't seen Kate tonight, so hopefully Sarah can rip it up in B grade. And watch for her and Jess to fight out for the finish on lap 2 as well, as these guys and girls come through to complete lap 1 at about 200 metres up the street. And we'll get back up the track and find there's Jolie Murray in there.
Yep, with Webber and Paulie Mack. And then we've got Alex Tolman as we flick our way through and see if this massive front pack, probably somewhere near, I would say, the League Schnapper, as they work through. Great to see Team Relentless working their way through, starting to dictate terms. A little breakaway again. This is going to hurt, Greg. 439 watts. They've just been on the hammer the whole time. Interesting to see how Aiden Sinclair has been managing the last sort of few minutes, whether he's reloaded, so to speak.
Ollie Jones, this is the third time. He usually sits right in the middle of that, or the back of the pack.
Sandwich.
That is the Canyon Sandwich Cup. He's coming out with some good ones tonight.
Have you been studying?
That's twice.
The Canyon Sandwich.
Sanger.
You can clip that, Reese, and put it on Instagram. There you go, mate. The Canyon Sandwich with a whole bunch of Relentless in the middle.
There you go.
Tasty.
The filling.
Messineo in there from Team ZF doing a wonderful job. Tommy Zawa, and here comes Aiden Sinclair. We've got a little attack there. More than a little attack.
Oh, that's big.
Aiden Sinclair getting bored again at 9.6 watts per kilo, 538 watts and 177 beats per minute. Plenty of scope in that heart rate. Gap now of 3 seconds. Aiden Sinclair up the road. Will they chase it down? Daz Carter now looks over to the left, looks to the right. Who's going? Nobody's going. Aiden Sinclair now 4 seconds up the road. Kay Smith, T-Boy, Tommy Zawa and Daz Carter. I need a lie down.
Yeah, he said great break here from Sinclair. 7 to 8 watts a kilo as he made that break. Heart rate starting to climb now, 185. He's got to hold this now to the finish. He's only going to have about 8 minutes based on last lap, so he hasn't got too long to hold it, but a huge amount of power and a great attack that was set up earlier by Jones just pushing to the front. So we had Sinclair went on the Schnapper, Jones went on the front. Britain now 15 watts a kilo to try and bridge back across. Be interesting to see if these two get together.
Here we go. Great. Let's go with here. So Britain will close it across to Sinclair. Get these two boys up the road. I wouldn't like to let them tango up the front. Ollie Jones probably has to respond as well, unless he's happy to let Sinclair go up the road with Britain. Tango, E-mono here. Britain and Sinclair. You can, of course, join the Coa Sports League anytime. We're kicking off July, Greg. We're already going to be kicking off July racing in just next week, so look out for that. Sinclair now just has a little bit of a... Smokes the pipe behind Britain here. Can they break away? 5 seconds back at the bottom here of the leg snapper coming up very shortly.
We've seen Britain's heart rate hit 198, so he's still got a little bit of room to move. Watch the attacks now as they calm up the schnapper very soon, but that group's coming right back. Look at that. So they've definitely been asked some questions as that front group, and these two will roll back in. And very tricky to get away in this this style of racing, but those two guys have done a phenomenal job. And shout out already the Kenyan ZCC guys have lit this race up, both through Jones and Sinclair, have both absolutely been smashing it.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot of work, but they're back. Greg, we're all back together. What a match burnt.
Oh, yeah, wait till you see this.
I think I just burned a match commentating.
Wait till you see this. I can't wait for this climb. This is going to go
I don't know how much left Sinclair's got, because he's just dropped two massive matches into this race early. He's gone on the first attack up the leg snapper, got bored and came across the bridge again. So Cridlin there. Cridlin, very handy rider there.
In the race earlier.
Very talented and comes straight across. Ollie Jones, of course, he just came along for the ride there. So look for Ollie Jones with fresh legs. We've got Patrick Burrows, Jay Duke in there. Of course, Cridlin we mentioned earlier, and Anthony Messineo we haven't seen do too much, and Cordero as well. So some great riders here as we head towards the bottom of the leg snapper.
Yeah, we're going to see some fireworks here. Here we go again. Here's Jones now off the front, or is that Sinclair again?
It's Mosby.
No, it's Jones this time. So they're going bang, 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 left hook, right hook. So they've only got two riders in the group. Here goes Jones now. He's going to stand on it up the schnapper, and we've got Mosby, Ryland Mosby there coming back across, and Boy still hanging in there. Smith, Golumbos. Wait till they take this little left-hander over that little creek or river or whatever you want to call it, but who cares? It's going to go up to 5, 8, 9%, and they're going to rip it up here. Messineo now, 9 watts a kilo. Wait till you see the orange numbers now on the right-hand side, Tim.
Full board we should have again. Maybe not on the second time around. So Ollie Jones here works their way up. Not sure we're going to get that decimation we did on the first lap where we lost about half the group. We will see. Working on the outside now is Joe Ricky here with the big attack and the feather power up. He's been sitting on the hop the whole time. Jay Ricky there at 10.1 watts per kilo. Asking the question, are Britain responds at 11? What exciting racing we have here tonight, Greg. Extraordinary racing out here on Zwift. Are Britain responds at 10.3 watts per kilo. God, this is going to hurt. Jay Ricky working their way up through the top. They've already done the snapper. It's all over. They've done the snapper already. 187 beats per minute.
Group of 5 off the front.
What are they going to have left in the finish line? Unbelievable.
Well, I'll tell you now, Ricky's not going to have a power up left because he played his feather coming up there. And also, Britain played up his, what did he have? He had the bus. So he played his draft bus up there as well, as they all get a little bit of a breather. Watch Ricky's heart rate come down. Hits a 187 at the top of the climb. He's down to 182.
Daz Carter doing a great job. Unbelievable job by Daz Carter.
The grandfather of the group again, Daryl Carter.
Nelson there. Look for Nelson too. Nelson hasn't come through to the front, been riding very quiet, but has he figured in the points as well? So are Britain now, they're all back together, believe it or not. It's like the concertina
effect. How are they
effect.
not all dead?
Well,
this is unbelievable.
I would be absolutely barbecued.
Wait till you see some early attacks. Someone's just burn up a feather coming down the hill just to burn it up.
They got a sprint comp, so they got another chance here to pick up one, of course. So another chance to power up, so to speak. Pick up, go throw it down for either a draft bus or an aero helmet if what you want. So here they go. So they're going to come through to the finish line in about 2 or 3 kilometres time, and it's going to be on like Donkey Kong, as we say in the Coa Sports League. Ollie Jones there sitting mid-pack at the moment. Aiden Sinclair, his teammate from Canyon ZCC, holding the fort. El Cridlin there. Jay Anthony from Relentless rolls through to the front and taking charge.
Yeah, this is going to be a cracking finish. Good luck if 3 Relentless guys go off the front, Tim. You're going to struggle to call that home. But anyway, good to see. Very, very strong front group. And the man at the back there representing the great nation of Japan is Tomozawa. He's still in that group as well. He's in that group every week. And a quick shout out as well to Ash Goodman. I think it's Brendan Boscholtz, Tim. You said something else before. Did you know? Or is he just saying Brendan Boscholtz, go for it?
Not
We're
sure.
moving on.
Not sure.
Go
moving
Brendan
on
Pschultz.
indeed, because we're coming
Here's
up
the
to the
sprint.
finish line. Here's their chance. They're going to roll the dice. I didn't see any dumping of any power-ups unless they just put it in the bin
odd
on the
feather.
app. You can do the old put it in the bin these days. I don't
Yep.
know why you'd do that. Anyway, back to the action. We're watching Ollie Jones. We've got a little breakaway there off the front already. Busting it off the front there in the purple Tron bike. We'll click on through his L. Cridland at 8.7 watts per kilo, having none of it. Asked the question early, 2 seconds back to K. Smith.
Yeah, so big attack there from Luke Cridland. He's really put some in there. And then Kelsey Smith's coming across. 9 watts a kilo. Boy's there. Mosby's there. Wilson's there. This is now the home straight, but there's a long way to go here. Expect this group to come back together as Cridland, well, he's still pushing 7 watts a kilo off the front of the group. So Ryan Britton in there. He's the one that's responded to a lot of these attacks. 8 watts a kilo from Britton. And they'll close that. He's burning that power up very early here. There is a long way to go.
Breeze,
he's throwing it out there and he said, catch me if you can, has Luke Cridland. 7 watts a kilo, probably not going to get this one done, but he's 4 seconds ahead, 5 seconds ahead of this group. But these guys know how to race on Zwift, and I have no doubt that they will burn him home. As they come up to the finish.
Great view here, Greg. So we've got the chase pack here. Tommy Zawa moves through to the front, and R. Britton there takes charge. You've still got the 2 Canyons ECC boys. They can see Cridland up the road. I think they're going to close the gap. Look for the big attacks early here. Big ride on bomb being played. We'll see who responds first. Here we go. R. Britton there sitting on the inside, and we've got C. Wilson rolling through to the front. Daz Carter in there sitting about Mig Pack and T-Boy. Look for Ollie Jones and R. Britton. I think it's going to be absolutely on.
So Smith's taken one for Team Relentless. He's burned his power up and gone through the front. Cadero's still there as well. Cridland's still there. Left him hang off the front, but there's still 300 metres to go here. So power up starting to be played now. Watch for Ollie Jones when he plays his power up. He will time it to perfection,
And
Tim.
S. Nielsen at the back there as well. Cadero goes 9.8 watts per kilo. He's gone. He has absolutely shot up the road. Cadero, R. Mosby responds at 10.6 watts per kilo. Ollie Jones here at 11.1 watts per kilo. C. Wilson responds. Daz Carter. And we've
Mosby.
got PB5, of course. Patrick Burrows coming up, flying up. Messineo, if you don't mind. Mosby and Nielsen. Who's going to get it? Mosby's got his nose in front. Nielsen responds up the inside. We've got Team Relentless. Looks like Patrick Burrows might have it there.
Burrows.
We'll see if we've called it. I think Burrows up the inside, Greg.
Good call, Tim.
Patrick Burrows ducked it up on the inside and just flashed home late and just rolled across Nielsen. Nielsen, for the first time in the race, in the final 20 metres, grabs the front. But then Patrick Burrows, I think, has stuck his nose in front.
It looked like
right
he snuck
at
up
the
on
right
the fence.
time.
But really good attack. Ryland Mosby, that's the first time he's been that close to the finish, but really good to see as well. And great to see. Really strong finish. Well done to Luke Cridland. He lit it up early and said, catch me if you can. And guess what?
See if we've got that right.
They only caught him with about 100 to go. So I'm sure Kappa's got a view of that. Let's call this finish home. This group of three's got 500 to go.
Thanks, Lukey.
Well
Thanks,
done,
mate.
Luke.
Appreciate
How
it,
you
buddy.
can type after that, I've no idea.
Sweaty
but anyway,
fingers.
well done.
Love the early attack, mate, and we'll see you back next week. Really, really love it. But what an unbelievable race up the front there, and we've got a good finish here, Greg. I'll let you call these boys across.
Yeah, we've got Roselli, Robertson, and Gariel here. So Roselli burns his power up now. Here comes Brando back up to his wheel on his Tron bike. He's got that yellow bike. Come on, Brando. Here goes Roselli off the front.
Kappa.
Brando burns his power up perfectly.
Robertson's
still coming. Robertson hasn't hit a button on anything, but he's hitting 12 watts a kilo. Brando's just hanging out there. Here comes Roselli and Robertson up to Gariel. Brando's just going to hold him off. Roselli, he misses him by a nose. Roselli there for second place in that sprint. Brando holds him off, and no power up for Robertson, but he still pushes 12 watts a kilo and just misses him. And we might call Jess Hamilton home here
100%,
as well, guys.
100%. Great finish here.
She's got a long way to go. Long way to go. Go have a look at the replay because we've got Goodyear and Hamilton together. They've got about a K and a half to go.
Don't want to miss that. So here comes the replay. We'll see if we got Patrick Burrows up on the inside. And so we saw Cridland, of course, go early. We'll click on through. So here we go. So they lit it up here. Cadero asked the question early, as we knew. And we got Ollie Jones in there. I'm surprised Ollie Jones didn't get the chockies. But and then we had Patrick Burrows. Look for him as he leads the way out. Huge numbers there. And Mosby there went. And you'll just watch for Burrows to tuck on the inside here. So he's up in front. right about now. Britton tries to go, he gone, and Patrick Burrows just times
Great
it there
timing.
with Britton in second position.
Good call, Tim. Good call.
Yeah.
Well done, Ryan
Good call,
Britton. That's his 5th podium now in a row. 6th, make that, and he's had 4 of them have been wins. So well done to him, and just well done to.
That's great racing.
Great racing there, and Britton taking the chockies for July. So well done to him.
And good racing here. So we've got 3 riders together. We've got J Hamilton, S Goodyear, and G Buick together at the moment. So G Buick featuring really strongly in the points at the moment. We'll go through that. So Buick, I believe at the moment, off the top of my leading C grade at the moment. G Buick on 13 points.
Wow.
And I think leading C grade here tonight. It would seem we'll see. We've got S Smith as well and Claire Danks as well. So we'll see. But J Hamilton here leading the way for Team BRT, and Daz Carter, of course, the organiser there, doing a great job as well up the front. He made it to that front pack.
Yeah,
I tell you what,
great job.
if you're in that front pack tonight,
After those
extraordinary racing.
Absolutely. So Sarah Goodyear now just rolls off to the front here. 500 metres to go for this group. We've got Buick Cryogen just in on the wheel there, and sitting off the back is Jess Hamilton. Very experienced Swift racer is Jess Hamilton, and she's leading the A grade for July and will not be superseded. So she can probably just sit up and wave at the crowd here, although they're a bit scarce. But Goodyear now, 4 watts a kilo from Sarah. These girls and guys will all have a power up under their jumper. I have no doubt about it. And Hamilton now rolls up to the top. 3 watts a kilo from Hamilton. Got 400 metres to go here. They'll roll past that start line, and then they'll see the finish line just up the road as they come around to the left just a little bit. Couple of riders up the road there. C. Sinclair, our FFC man who joined us on the workout the other night, and Jackson not too far up the road, but they won't catch them. Just coming past that start area now, so not too far to go. So Goodyear,
Hamilton moves.
Hamilton to the front. Goodyear hits the button and says, let's go. And 4.4 watts a kilo. Come on, Sarah, you got to dig. So Hamilton now 6 watts a kilo. Sarah's rolling back up to the wheel. 6.5 watts a kilo. Buick just sitting in. Here comes Goodyear over the top. Ooh. Hamilton times that power up perfectly, does Hamilton. And she's just rolling through there. Here comes Buick. Feather power up over the top. 13.3 watts a kilo and takes it on the line. Jess Hamilton rolls in for second place there, and Sarah Goodyear for third place. Couple of podium getters there in the female category for July as well. So well done to that group there. That was amazing spring.
Yeah, one more finish here to go. We've got Lynn Vaughan, Curtis Gomez, and Rob Perrell here leading the way down the finish line. So we've got Rob Perrell up the front there at the moment, Lynn Vaughan of D grade there, and Curtis Gomez of Team ZF. So we'll make this the last finish. We've got 3 in it here. So Rob Perrell here just got his nose to the breeze at the moment. Lynn Vaughan just sitting back. Rob goes early with the feather. He's played it early. He'd want to get a bit of a wriggle on now. So Curtis Gomez, 2.3 watts per kilo. El Vaughan there asking the question, gets the draft bus. Well played. Well played. Curtis Gomez there just responds and rolls up on the inside. We've got points everywhere at the moment. This could make a difference here on the point standing in D grade of the Coa Sports League. We will wait and see. We've got El Vaughan there in the Bumblebee outfit. Paid the power up early, and so did Pearl. So they've got none left. I don't think Gomez has played his just yet.
Yeah, absolutely. So Gomez sitting in. Robbie's burn his. He had the feather. Lynn Vaughan's burn her power up as well. So coming down to a sprint in 3 here with these 3 riders. And Robbie Boy just sitting out in the breeze there, flapping a little bit. But the Bumblebee, Lynn Vaughan and Curtis Gomez. Here we go now. There goes Curtis straight off the front. 7.2 watts a kilo. No response from Peel. He
Good
gone.
response
and
by
here
Lynn.
comes the Bumblebee, Lynn, coming through. Great. Well done, Lynn. Didn't see Annabelle Roberts in that field tonight. So that's a D grade win for July. For Lynn Vaughan, I would say. I have been wrong before, though.
Yes,
and just
you have
rolling
many
through
times.
now, quick shout out to Pete Donahue. 38 seconds back just from that little group. Back to the studio.
We did the whole chop as well, by the way. And
I'm
we've done
stuffed.
an unbelievable Coa Sports League race.
That was
if you want to
great.
see what Zwift Racing is all about just from the hammer, just go watch that 22 minutes of racing with some of the likes in that race.
22 minutes around there.
Extraordinary. So, of course, a verified race, we get all their training and racing data, which is good to see. We'll go back through. It takes us about a day, maybe even 2 sometimes to go through. And guess what? Good news, though. We got some coming out of the sick bay. We've got 35. Not that we like that, but 35.
35
they get out
of
of the sick bay, and I think we've got to send
They'll be
about
rattling
17
the
back
doors.
in there.
They'll be
So
rattling
we're
the
all about the verification here. We do the very, very best we can, of course, on the massive budget for a free league.
No, it's good. It's one of the things that people love is that it is a genuinely policed league. We don't like to call ourselves police, but
No.
every now and then you have to get the cane out. But well done to everyone tonight. That was one of my favourite Coal Sports races I've ever called. So well done to everyone. And well done to Kappa. You're giving
thanks,
a
guys.
point
Good
there
drone
too.
flying, mate.
Yeah, your yogurt. I got him a yogurt.
did, yeah.
I brought
A
him a
bit of
yogurt,
paper.
but we didn't bring a spoon. So that was unfortunate.
See you tomorrow morning.
And thanks to Tim for the cup of tea.
Thank you.
Yep.
No worries.
That's the first. It's only taken 2
I'll just
years,
thank
but
myself
you got
again.
me a cup of tea.
See you tomorrow
So
morning.
that's good.
Coa Sports Warrior Community Race. Bring it on.
This is the Coa Sports League.
And it's going to be on like Donkey Kong. Norton now on the outside with the aero helmet. But here comes Ryan Britton. Ryan Britton at 15.7 watts per kilo. Aero helmet all done. He's not done. Green Tron bike all lit up and Britton gets the win.
Who's going to take the jockey?